What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, I had a comment yesterday about yesterday's video, and it was about my comment saying, critiquing or kind of overgeneralizing. That's what I did. Basically, it's hyperbole. That's part of the console war. But anyway, I said that dumb journalists can't play games or something like. I didn't call them dumb, but yeah, journalists suck at games and blah blah blah. And it was referring to Returnal. And someone in the chat totally forgot who it was, but you know who it was. You know who you was when you said what you did. They said it's not that the game was hard or anything. It was just boring. I was like, well, that's not better. But I was like, okay, fine enough. Cool. I'm sure that's fine. Yeah, I mean, look, this is all fun and games anyway, you know. And my hyperbolic attempts at talking down to the journalists that shape the zeitgeist, shape the narratives in a way. It's just that, you know. They wield the power that, you know, I don't want to call it great power, but it's power to affect the fate of studios, the fate of companies. You know, they could put out a bad article about such and such and such, the stock could tank, company closed because of an article. You know, it jumps off, it's in the zeitgeist, it's in the news cycle, you know, that's how it goes. And it could be 100% false, 100% fabricated. And that's where the journalistic integrity is supposed to exist, but it doesn't. Not in this space. I mean, look, once again, generalizing. Some people who are journalists or who are journalist adjacent are honest. They do their due diligence. They're good. Now, I'm not talking about those people. You never see me up in here talking shite about the people who are doing what they need to do. Now, I may disagree with some journalists or how they word some things. And, you know, we see it in 4K when Blessing or Curses, whatever his name is, Eddie Oye Jr. Went after Jazz because of jealousy, because it's kind of funny didn't get the interview, didn't get the first interview with Asha Sharma. Is that why? Is that why he's flinging that hate and giving a half-ass apology? Look, we don't forget these things. And I watched a little bit of one of their daily shows or whatever, and it was Greg, and it was cursing, and I was like, but I get it. And they don't claim to be journalists. They're content creators, they're whatever. But there still is a responsibility when you have that many followers, when a lot of people listen to the words that you say, even though you're joking and all these things, you're still presenting the news. And when you put your little flavor and your little spin on it, people see that. It affects people. It may sway people. Not some people are immune to it because they see what you do. They see the act. They see the performance. They realize that's what it is, and they can parse the performance from the actual data, the facts, you know. And that's whatever. You know, look, they need to do what they need to do to keep the lights on. It's all good. That's part of the game. That's the life they chose. They chose to go indie like that, which is cool. And I don't wish them any, you know, ill fate or anything. You know, do what you got to do, but realize that you are subject to the wrath of the community. I mean, I know Digital Foundry found that out. That's a whole nother thing, because all they had to do was be real and be honest and not be scared. I don't know why I got all Spanish right. Not be scared of backlash or anything. I mean, honestly, here's the thing. little tangent to the digital Foundry thing that happened, right? little bit ago, where they saw the DLSS 5, the DLSS 5, and they were like, oh my gosh, and they were like, good goose. They were squirting all over the place because they were so happy about it. And I was like, you know what? I was looking at it and I was like, okay, but watch that again. I don't even know if they might have taken it down. Watch it and realize that is their natural reaction. That's their without any input, without any knowledge of how people feel about AI slob, which is weird because they're literally in the midst of all this technology and AI and all these things. How can they not know that people wouldn't like what that was? And they're smart, right? So how could they not know that, like, Jensen and whoever else was presenting it was kind of full of shit and lying, basically? It's like I would say Digital Foundry would be the people who would understand and see something and say, wait, how does this work? Questions. Why? But they didn't. Anyway, that's a mute. That's moot because that's old news. We're not talking about old news. We're talking about new stuff. And the new stuff is this. This is a little bit of appendications of yesterday's DRM, Sony's tragic DRM journey, fall from grace. So a couple of things happened. Your boy, I guess his name is John. I never knew his name was John. John from Spawnwave. He's the main dude. He did the CMOS battery DRM test, basically. So what he did was he took a PS5 Lite, the newer one. I think it was a Lite or a Pro. I don't know. It doesn't matter, either or. And he booted up a game. I forget what game it was. Doesn't matter. And he's like, okay, the game starts. Blah, 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 right? So he unplugs it, pops it open, takes his CMOS battery out, puts it back in, whatever, blah, 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 puts it back all together. And when you do that, he resets the internal clock, to factory settings. And so it'll erase any type of data that's stored as far as game stuff. Not from the hard drive, but from the, And so he did that, and when he went to go back to that same game and try to play it again, it'd say, oh, we can't do, we can't do, boo. He tried to play it offline. Well, we can't do that. We can't play it because blah, blah, blah. So he proved that leak, that mistake, which is B shit, wasn't a mistake. It was real. And then someone, I think it was MBG, called them, and they basically verified that it was, oh, thank you for having interest in our DRM, our DRM program, our 30-day or you don't get to play DRM program. There it goes. 30-day, you don't get to play. There you go. That's the new name of it. 30-day, don't get to play. It's probably the name of this video. Anyway, and so we have the two. I mean, Spawnwave. I'm not gonna say he's whatever. I'm not saying he's neutral. I'm not saying he's definitely not a bot. Definitely leans more Nintendo, PlayStation, whatever. But I would say he's more impartial than most. So I tend to look at him because he goes into the technicals and all that stuff. But whatever. MBG, obviously, he's a pony. And maybe Donkey Unicorn Light. I don't know. I haven't delved into his actual shtick. But him going and calling up Sony and them basically verifying the program as of March. I think it was March 26th, right? Or is it May 26th? I think it was May 26th. No, March. I think it's March. It doesn't matter. And they verified it. And so it's like, oh, okay. So Sony, once again, tried to be sneaky and sneak this DRM past everybody. And everybody, now people know. So now, here's the thing. Are these Donkey Unicorns a pony? Is Porter Rock? Is J-Dub? Is Dolphin Teeth? Is Pizza Face? Is Jimmy Neutron? Any of these fools gonna come up and say, hey, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. I haven't looked at it. I think I saw somebody say something about it, but I don't remember. So, I mean, this is a test. This is a test to see if these donkey, unicorns, and ponies are going to put their money where their mouth is. Not money where their mouth, but, they're going to have that same energy. Because everybody, the whole tides changed when Xbox did this in 2013. It literally changed the outcome of the console wars. That was in addition to other things, obviously. And so now Sony's doing it. So is this another inflection point? Is this another turning point? Repeating, I say history repeats itself. It's kind of true. Sony doesn't learn from their mistakes. They just copy, mistakes and all. Because they don't know any better. I don't think they know what they're doing. They're just sitting there at the seat of their pants, flying down the highway with no brakes. They're like, yeah, woo, yeah, we in number one, yeah, woo, woo, woo. We need some more games. Woo, we sold a lot of consoles. Woo, let's charge them more. DRM, let's charge them more. Look, it's crazy that Sony is literally making all the mistakes that Xbox did in the past 10 years or so, right? More than 10 years, 2013 and on. How? They're making the mistakes and they're not learning from the lessons that Microsoft made. They have right now Minecraft, Sea of Thieves, I would say the Forza Horizon series, Call of Duty, that was acquired, but still it counts. I was gonna say Doom, but that's more of a single player thing. What else? There's got to be more than that, right? There's more than just 4 kind of online multiplayer games of service games that are just popular, that people are playing forever and ever, always on the top of the lists and stuff. And Sony has Helldivers, which they didn't make. They just paid for it. So, I mean, think about that. You're like, oh, we got Helldivers. It's like, you got Helldivers, but you can't make another one. You got to go hire, is it Fire Sprite? I forgot what they're called. Arrowhead, you got to go call them guys and say, Arrowhead, can we make it? Like, no, we're not doing that no more. We're not doing exclusive. No, we're doing multi-player. Yeah, no, we're not doing that no more. And so they're like, oh. So Helldivers 3 might be on everything day one, published by them themselves. So Sony doesn't get that cut. I mean, they'll get their 30% if they put it on their store, but that's it. You don't get the big bulks. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really have anything. Once Helldivers 2, once that dies, that's it. What Sony got? They got nothing. All their games are trash. And then we hear the rumors, the behind the scenes, the little mumbles in the shadows about Fair Game $, that they had a secret play test or something, and the people who've played it, it's not getting good reviews or getting good words. People are like, this is whack. This is boring as hell. It's like, this game is trash. I'm paraphrasing, of course. I don't even know what they said, but I've heard the word boring. I've heard the word no. Yeah, I'm just saying. And so I'm like, wow. Yeah. And PB Jenkins, they told me something as well. So I was like, okay. PP is very reliable. Reliable PP. That's what I call them. But it's, once again, it's like I'm sitting here, I'm like, yo, Xbox is doing things. Sharma is up in there. Asha is up in there. The powerful Asha is up in there. She's making moves. It's happening. She's making stuff happen. And you over at PlayStation, right? They're quiet, and they're trying to sneak DRM just past you. I want CNN, I want Fox, I want all of these news operations, CNBC, everybody to talk about this, because it's anti-consumer. But no, they won't. Once again, I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna look at the outlets. And I want to see who's talking about it. And I want to. It's not just about who's making articles. It's about how they talk about it. how it's worded, how the title of the article is worded, and how they posit it, how they speak about it. That's very important. Because a lot of the times they're all soft and they're like, oh, maybe, Omer. People are trying to say, oh, it's a bug. It was a bug. That's the CMOS bug. And I'm like, no. No, it's not. That's not a bug. That's a feature. That's a new feature for y'all. Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, Sony's so incompetent that they went in to fix some stuff and they broke this thing and this happened. I'm like, that's not how breaking things work. When you break something, doesn't work anymore. This is literally a system that someone made to work a certain way, and it works exactly how it's meant to work. And so y'all ponies and donkey unicorns are trying to cope your way into some sort of explanation that isn't the obviously slap it across your face truth. PlayStation don't care about you. They trying to get that money. They trying to get all the pirates. They trying to do all these things. They're doing all the opposite things that is competitive for Xbox. Xbox is right now, they're loading up their weapons. They're about to blast PlayStation. Pause. They're about to go on the attack. You saw what what's his name? Stein put up there. He put the commando Arnold getting ready for war. That's Xbox. Man, y'all. PlayStation is not ready for what's about to happen. I mean, all Asha has to do is everything perfectly. Like, no pressure. I'm just saying, all she has to do is not mess up. All she has to do is, honestly, the biggest thing that she could do, as much as it would hurt their bottom line, not all these things, the biggest thing that she could do in order to cement in the hearts and minds of hardcore Xbox players is bring back exclusivity. I mean, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about time. I mean, you could do some time things, sure, for multiplayer games and stuff like that, whatever. I mean, there's kind of caveats and there's nuances to different titles, but like, you have to be precise. You have to be, you can't be wavering, and that's what happened with Phil. Phil was like, we'll see, we'll look at this, and she's saying similar things like, we'll learn, we'll look at the data, we'll look at the strategy. And that's one thing that people aren't reiterating. They're saying, oh, we're just gonna look at the data and that tells me, and then they go on the rumble rambles, right? And I'm saying right after that she says, we'll look at the strategy. I'm gonna say, let's focus on the strategy. That is one thing. It's like, okay, this game sold nothing, so let's not put that type of game. This game sold a lot, let's put that type of game. That's it. That's all you got to say about the strategy. I mean, the data, right? But the strategy takes the data into consideration, but it also takes losing money into consideration. It also takes how much money, this is the strategy, how much money are we willing to lose in order to gain a certain percentage of new console owners. That's strategy. You say, I don't know, whatever the percentage is, or how much money, how percentage money. I just said money. So yeah, how much? How many millions of dollars are they willing to lose because of not putting a game on PlayStation, right? And so, but the thing is, the two games that they put on PlayStation that were successful were live service games, Forza and Grounded. So if they keep to that, I don't have a problem with that. As much as I would like to keep Forza Horizon 6 exclusive, I mean, even though it's a time exclusive, which is cool, I would say give them another 4 years. Let it chill for 4 years and then do the same thing. That's going to be a timeless game because it's Japan. And so they can update it. Throw Voltron in next to the Gundam. Let's go. Put the Transformers in there. Let's go. And you could do that 4 years down the road and it'll still be a banger and people will still buy it 5 million strong on PlayStation. Because they ain't got nothing like that on PlayStation. That's one of the data. That's one of the strategies / data points that they need to look at. The reason why Forza Horizon and Grounded are so popular and did so well on PlayStation because Those games don't exist on PlayStation. PlayStation doesn't make those type of games. They have Gran Turismo. People who grew up with Outrun and Power Drift don't want to play Gran Turismo. We want to crash through boulders, walls, and jump these crazy heights and land and drive across oceans. We want to do all that crazy stuff in nice, shiny, dope cars that sound real dope and crazy and nice, crazy nice. Just saying. Nothing like that exists on PlayStation. Drive Club was the closest thing. Wasn't even close. Wasn't even competition. That's how trash garbage that was. Now, I had this thought, and I said, PlayStation, I've said this before, I say it again. PlayStation has no creativity whatsoever. They have no artistic, they have zero. And so they like to copy. So I think, I will believe that they are probably working on an open world arcadey type of racer similar to Forza Horizon. I would say that because they saw what Forza Horizon 5 did on PlayStation. It destroyed the numbers. Forza Horizon 5 destroyed Ghost of Yotei. That was the last game that they came out with at the time. So much so that Ghost of Yotei said, Forza Horizon's over here doing donuts around them. Sold more than twice as many copies. Come on, son. I'm going to say this. Forza Horizon 5 is going to sell more than Soros. Soros ain't selling 5 million. Hell to the no. If Returnal didn't sell, one and didn't sell even 2 million, Soros ain't selling. Nope. It's not happening. I don't care how high the score is. It doesn't matter. People looking at the game and it's like, oh, it's like a shooter with just like Cheerios coming at you, neon Cheerio. I don't understand what that is. But then you look at over at Forza. Oh, racing car. Do they have my car in there? Let me see. Go in the boopy boo boo. Go through the. Oh yeah, got my Honda Civic. Boo boo. Look, it looks just like my car. See, already people can relate to Forza Horizon games because cars. It's everybody drives one for the most part, right? Only thing I hate about that game is that they don't have my car. Come on, bro. Which Asha, powerful Asha, please hear my words. Can I please get a Chevy Trailblazer SS 2007 to 2009, whatever, they're all the same. Give us options. I want the default wheels. I want those factory spokes. Give me the 9 by 20s. I don't know if they had 10 by 20s. I think I have 8s. I have 8 by 20s. And I wish I had the 9s, but beggars can't be choosers because, like I said before, I'll always keep talking about it. Trailblazers are very limited. I think they made 26,000 of them. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, you can't compete with like the quality of games that Xbox is putting out, and that's the thing. People, PlayStation can put out two quality games a year, but when Xbox is throwing out 4 quality games a year, no competition. And also, it's not just about the quality, because quality is subjective. Look at the sales numbers. That plus quality, come on, son. Forza Horizon 5 is a shining example of what PlayStation cannot do. They have not been able to do that. And the hilarious part about that is the original Forza Horizon team was birthed from MotorStorm. The MotorStorm team, the lead, I forgot his name, he went to Forza Horizon. Isn't that crazy? They had them. And I guess they let him go. I don't know what happened, but yeah. He's no longer with Playground anymore, but I'm looking at 6 and I'm like, yo, this looks crazy. I'm like, I cannot wait for that game. Anyway, last thing, I have a ROG Ally. I have a ROG Xbox Ally, White Boy Edition, and I loaded up Crimson Desert. Now, before, I guess when it first launched, it was having trouble on the handheld, Steam Deck and such. But they did a patch or something. It works now. So I loaded it up. And the first time I loaded it up, it got stuck before the loading screen. So I was like, let me go in and shut it down. I restarted it, shut down the app, shut down the game, and then restarted it. And then it loaded it up. So I started playing it. I was like, oh, okay, it plays. And it synced with the cloud. Boom. Got my save exactly where I was. I was like, oh, shoot. I did like half of a mission. I did like one part of I'm doing a bunch of mystery detective work. There's a lot of detective kind of things. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I'm like, okay, this is... Anyway. So one thing I'll say, it's not capped at 30, but it can't go past 30. I'm running it at 720. Actually, I'm running the game at 720p. But I believe the actual system itself is running at 900. I think I set it at 900, which is balance. You can do 720, 900, or 1080p. And I believe I'm setting it at, I was running it at 900. So I have to go back and set the system at 720 and see if that does anything as far as performance goes. But I had a 720p and it was running at about 30, a little under 30 sometimes, 30. But then I was like, you know what? Let me do the performance or whatever. Set it at, I think I set it at 1080p or whatever. I did that, boom. Went back in. The cool thing about Crimson Desert is you don't have to restart the whole game in order to apply the graphics changes. It just does it. I guess in just resolution. But no, it does that all the time. So I did it, boom, goes back into the game. It was like chop. I was like, whoa. And the graphics was like, I had mad artifacting. I was like, I looked at the frame rate, it was like 18. I was like, okay, let me go back. So, the cool thing about the ROG Xbox Ally is that it is a little computer thing, right? And the cool thing about that is the promise of like the Helix. And here's what I want, right? I want the Helix and the future of video games to have similar graphics options within the game as PC, where you can adjust the resolution to whatever you want, and you can adjust, you could cap the frame rate, do all those things, turn on ray tracing, turn off ray tracing, all these things. It has ray tracing, by the way, but it's I don't know if it's SSGI, I believe is so screen space global illumination, and that is there's plenty of art. It's Blender has it. I mean, Blender got it a long time ago, in Eevee. So there are artifacts. Like if you go watch my video on that I did that like 4 years ago, something like that. I think that's when they just started using SSGI. And you can tell like some of the scenes there's kind of like light artifacts and bleeding and stuff. So once again, screen space is, you guys know what screen space is, but for those you don't know, screen space is the effect is only affected by what is seen on the screen. So it would like ray tracing, screen space. I don't even know if they have. I guess they do have SSRT. It's only affected by what's on the screen. So it's not, if there's something off screen, it won't be. You won't get that ray tracing, which is what ray tracing really is. So they use cube maps or whatever else to fill in the blanks. But SS, it's just like screen space reflections. It's the same thing. So the SSGI, it's, you can kind of tell. And it's a little slow on the white boy, because I remember I was in the temple up to I think it's to the north, kind of northwest. And I'm in there doing all the missions, and I'm running from the outside to the inside real quick, and it takes a little bit of time for the lights to adjust. So I was like, okay, that's a little weird looking, but I'll forgive it because this is a giant game on this little thing. And I was like, this is incredible, the fact that it runs at 30 frames and it doesn't look bad. And once again, the reason why I got the white boy, because I knew that it's such a small screen. It's a 7-inch screen, I believe. And so I'm like, I can't see any pixels, barely, I mean, sure, the graphical, like, not the fidelity, but like as far as like, vegetation and stuff is lower. It's on the low, but I don't mind, because the meat and potatoes is there, and that's all you need, really. I mean, the voice acting is there. It's just all good. It sounds great, beautiful. Those speakers on the ROG Xbox Ally are amazing. I don't know what kind of voodoo they're doing with every time I turn that thing on, it's like, I'm like, I swear that is surround. How did they do that? It's crazy. It's crazy. That's a really good little handheld, and I got mine for under $5. I think it was $4.80 something. It's on super sale on Amazon. I was like, and I got it. I was like, cool. Now I think it's $5.99 now, or maybe $4.99. I don't know. Anyway, I've been rambling enough. I appreciate you hanging out. Let me like and subscribe. Hit me up in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the continuing saga of Sony's downfall into the darkness of the levels of the dark evil. They are evil. DRM. That's them. Yeah. And I'm still working on that song, the intro song. I got not most of the hook. I got a 50% of the hook done. I like it. I just gotta lay it down. I think I'm gonna lay that part down maybe tonight. We'll see. I'm taking my time with it again. Not that it's gonna be perfect or anything, but I don't want to rush and put some out garbage and stuff. So, and I just kind of turn it on. I listen to the track, and I'm like, a line will come up. Oh, okay, I'll write it down real quick, and then I'll throw it in a pile of lines. I'm like, okay, what's that? But I'm still working on it. Don't worry about it. But anyway, I appreciate. I'll talk to you on the next one too. To wait.